Welcome to Last Stitch Effort, my knitting podcast about using up my stash without getting any more, except I kind of did again. Anyway, my name is Pikasha. We're here to talk about knitting, so let's do that. I'll start with what I'm wearing, and it's getting a little bit cooler here. So the only thing I really have on are knitted socks, and I'm just going to pull one on. A nice sturdy sock to show you because I'm classy that way. So this is just a sock I made, I think last year, out of some autumnal colored yarn, just leftovers, and that's it. It's still a little too hot for other things like shawls and stuff, but soon. Um, anyway, if you can, please let me know if you're starting to wear your knitwear down below in the comments. I love to talk to you guys. I've started getting a lot of comments, and that's fantastic. And I get to connect with old friends and some new ones, and that's great. And yeah, so leave me a comment. I love it. And I'll respond to you. Let's see what else. I keep forgetting to update you guys on my number of stash entries in Ravelry. So right now, I believe I'm standing at 324, and that's after these acquisitions that I'm going to show you at the end. This should be it though, really. Okay, we'll talk about it later. Anyway, I also wanted to update you on my 10 by 5 project. So I have 5 categories. I have sweaters or, vests, like a garment essentially, some mitts, hats, socks, and shawls. And I'm trying to do 10 of each of those projects this year. And right now I'm standing at 9 completed garments, and I counted baby sweaters in that too, which might be cheating, but I don't think it is because it uses up leftovers, and that's kind of the point of this, is to use up all of those little bits. So I only have one more thing to do before the end of the year, and I think that's pretty cool. And I have 2 pairs of either mittens or mitts, or something for your hands. I'm even considering some cuffs. I actually have some cuffs that I'm thinking about doing to finish that off. So almost there. I finished all my hats, and that's very exciting, although I do really like to knit hats, so I want to just knit hats. And I have 1 pair of socks left to finish, and I think the ones that I have listed on my little list here are worsted weight socks, and I think they'll go really fast. But I am also, when I talk about my works in progress, I do have a pair of fingering weight ones too, which may get finished before those. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. And I have 6 completed shawls. That includes cowls, things like that, of that nature. I still have quite a few of those to do. I do have 1 on the needles, and I have 1 planned out that I'm really excited for, and I'm not too worried about it. I think if push comes to shove, then I can, whip out a few cowls. But anyway, so that's where I'm at on that. So I'm almost finished with that project, and then once I'm finished with that, I'm just kind of allowing myself to work on whatever I want to, and which is kind of what I do anyway. And then I may start it up again next year because I think it was super motivating, and it's kind of fun to track your progress like that. So that's what I'm doing. And let's talk about finished objects. Oh gosh, the light. Hold on. Let's just adjust. Nope, not that way. Yeah. Sorry, it's a little darker, but maybe that'll be better. Anyway, finished objects. I'm very excited to say I finished the mitts that I talked about for the first time last week. These are made of leftovers. I think it's Yarn Cafe Creations, one of like a really old skein from several years ago. And I don't have the label. I just found it in my leftovers and thought that these 2 colors looked cute, and the yarn was super soft. So I made these mitts. There's no pattern. I just casted 60 stitches on, and then I did lifted increases on either side to make the thumb gusset. And then, yeah, that's it. Pretty easy. And they're blocked and ready to go. They smell like wool wash, and yeah, so those will go in the drawer by the door and ready for when I go on walks. This next finished object I'm pretty excited about because I've been talking about it since I think the first episode. I finished my prairie socks, and these are by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears podcast, and it's using my own hand-dyed yarn called Inara's Syringe, and it's got stellina in it, but it's kind of hard, and it's got gold stellina, which is, yeah, can you see? Anyway, you may notice that sometimes I added an extra plain row in between the repeat, and I'm not too worried about it. I don't think you can really tell if I just, and then yeah, see, you didn't see it, so we're fine. And then I also wanted to kind of brag. My husband made these sock blockers out of like part of a drawer beside a dumpster, and I just thought they were really cute. Anyway, he's pretty cute. Let's see. So those are my finished objects. Pretty happy about that. So let's talk about whips. The one that's been going on the longest, I believe, or actually, I don't know. It's all running together these days. Anyway, this is my Horizon scarf where I'm using up all of my leftover bits of Holst Coast. And this pattern is by, is it Helle Holst? So it was a kit using the yarn, and I've kind of added some other yarns or changed the colors around a little bit, just to get the maximum usage and yardage out of my stash. And I was here last week, and so I've done that much, which I think is pretty good. It's 99 stitches across in moss stitch, and a lot of people don't like to work moss stitch, but I really, really love it, and I love the way it looks. I love it. And I'm just grabbing the yarn as it comes. It's in kind of small little balls, and they're all different weights. So I'm just grabbing them and adding them in. There's some thin stripes every now and then, and yeah, so I mean, it's moving along. It's probably not going to be finished next time, but who knows? It may be. We'll talk about that in a minute too. Anyway, so that's one work in progress, and I only have two. I don't know how that happened, but the next one is a pair of socks for my daughter. This is, what's it called? Crocus Furnace by Hunter Hammerson. And I've done one more repeat since last week. And then I'm on the heel now, and I'm kind of taking a break. I don't know. It's just not happening easily, but I think it's gorgeous. I think this pattern is so pretty. And the yarn is Orange Flower Yarns. It was just like a grab bag, so I'm not sure what color it is or even which yarn it actually is, but it's pretty and it's working, and they're gonna be nice. And it's in a yarn bowl that my husband made, but he doesn't sell these or anything. He just is nice and makes things for me. So that's that. So I haven't started another project. Put that down because Isolde Teague is coming out with Knitworthy 7, and I think the first pattern release is tomorrow. So I've been kind of holding off on starting anything new because I'm super excited. I love Isolde Teague's patterns so much. I've loved her since we were on Craftster together, which was before I had a child. Like, I mean, I almost have a 17-year-old. Yeah, she's almost 17, and like I've been in love with Isolde Teague and her knitting. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm probably not going to do like any knit-alongs or anything with that, but I am excited to see what she has for us. And so kind of waiting to cast something on, and that's giving me more time to focus on these projects and get those out of the way. But I've also pre-ordered the Shetland Wool Week annual for this year, and that's actually on its way too. I got a notification the other day, so looking forward to that. And they release one every year, and they have tons of beautiful patterns by Shetland designers using Shetland wool. And I guess they're not always Shetland. Anyway, they have a connection to Shetland, and since I can't go to Shetland Wool Week, I just sometimes get these. And so this is the one from last year, I believe. I should probably look before I just start talking. No, this is 2021. So I'm getting 2023. in the mail very soon, and so I'll be casting something on from that. They have released the patterns on Ravelry, and I have looked at them, and there's several that I want to make. So, but I'm not going to give you like specifics yet because I just cannot focus on anything long enough to do that. Anyway, sorry, I bumped the thing. Let's see, what else do I need to talk about? I guess we're at acquisitions. Try not to feel too guilty about this. These were ordered at a troubling time, but for a person that I love very much. To like, knitting is kind of my meditation to work through a lot of feelings, or if I feel somebody needs my attention and I can't give it to them all the time, this is a good way for me to do that. Sit and knit and think about them as I'm knitting, and it's kind of helps. Anyway, so it's for my daughter. She I showed her a pair of socks. I don't remember the name of the pattern, but it's just like a plain pair of socks with little hearts. Oh God, it's a hard word. Little hearts and color work on them, and she likes pink things. She likes very feminine things. So I got these two because, surprise, surprise, I have no undyed fingering weight yarn, despite being once upon a time a yarn dyer. So I got this milk bottle. The color's milk bottle. This is West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply. And I got candy floss, which, if you're from the US, that means cotton candy. Anyway, so I don't know if she wants white socks with pink hearts or pink socks with white hearts, or one of these with some sort of hand dyed whatever. We need to hash that out. But I did order these. They came in. They're here. They're in my stash now. And I don't care because it's awesome yarn. This is one of my favorite sock yarns to work with. And I was turned on to, it's funny, because I was turned on to this by the Bakery Bears. Kay was knitting socks out of, I think, the DK weight of this. Not this color, but the Country Birds series. And so I started ordering it, and I've been a fan all this time. Well, recently she just started a pair of socks using the fingering weight, and she is not enjoying them. So I think it's kind of funny. Like, this is my favorite, and it's no longer like her favorite. I don't know that it ever was, but anyway. So, yarn. I also got 3 skeins of undyed Regia, however you say it. I don't speak German, but I'm pretty sure it's Regia. I got 3 undyed because I felt like it was a shame that I had nothing just in case I needed it, which is a horrible mindset for me to be in. Anyway, so I have 3 of these so I can dye them if I need to. I do still have all of my dyeing supplies to help use up some of my other scraps. So, I mean, it's useful. Yeah, it's not a ridiculous purchase or an unreasonable purchase by any means. This is, quite helpful. So, and I ordered it from Wool Warehouse. And I love that they send them in these little bags, which I use actually to gift my knits in or store things. But we don't really have the dreaded M word here, so my yarn's pretty safe not being in plastic. But I don't really have much else to talk about other than the channel's not growing, which I don't care, because I'm just here because I needed to talk about yarn to somebody other than the people under this roof that could give a rat's ass. Yeah, so I'm here and I'm enjoying that people are talking to me in the comments. And I kind of hope we can keep that conversation going. Let me know what you're working on, what things you pull out first when it starts getting cold. Are you buying silly yarn that you shouldn't? Are you buying good yarn? Like, what's your favorite yarn? What's your favorite sock yarn, especially because I knit a lot of socks? Are you excited for holiday knitting? Do you knit for people? Do you gift your knits? Anything. Like, please let me know. Like, I think it's really interesting how we all take a different approach to this. And I know, like, through the almost 20 years I've been knitting, or however long, um, like the way I've knit, my approach to knitting has totally changed. And yeah, I just think it's interesting. Like now I'm at the point where I do like to knit for people, but I really don't feel bad if I don't. I'm don't think anybody's ever expected me to knit for them. People have asked quite rudely for me to knit for them, but people have asked nicely. And sometimes people see what I'm wearing and I just give it to them. That's fine. I do enjoy that. Sometimes I knit for people specifically, like pattern and color, absolutely focused on them. And sometimes I finish something and I think, hey, that reminds me of so and so. And that's just, I don't know. It's very like fluid, I guess. Um, and I think that's a good way to look at things. Like, I don't know, I don't need any more knitted things personally, but I do like to knit for myself because I really like to wear knitted things. Um, I don't know, like, also, like, maybe let me know when you started knitting, how long you've been knitting, who taught you. Um, I was taught by a coworker. I had just met my husband, and he moved to New Zealand because his visa ran out, and I was bored and I didn't have a lot to do. And we started a little crafting club, and I learned how to knit, and it helped me quit smoking. Was a social smoker, and um, it's helped me deal with a lot of anxiety, and it's been a great comfort in my life. Um, yeah, I've bonded with people over it, and I don't know what to say. I'm just talking now. It's just I don't have a lot to show you, so uh, yeah, just let me know how knitting fits into your life. That's basically what I want to know, and how it helps you. So, or how it stresses you out, because there were years where knitting was probably a bigger stress in my life than almost anything else, and that is silly to me, but that's life, right? Anyway, that's it. I will see you guys next week, and hopefully I'll have a new thing or two on the needles, and hopefully I'll have something finished. Probably not the socks, but hopefully the scarf. That would be awesome, because then I can take that yarn out of my stash, both here and on Ravelry, and that's kind of my goal. This may be getting awkward, so we'll just say bye.